Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Baund, and man, we finally getting this suit in. This is like one of the last Zeta suits to be added in. I think there's like a few more that are like very like okay, sure, I guess. But this is definitely one that a lot of people were missing out on. Baund's one of my favorite suits to play in like games like Maxi Boost. So I like that it's finally here. It's a big boy suit. It's one of the few suits that it's really garish. Usually they kind of tone down the colors on a lot of these suits. The Baund, it's still like bright ass pink, but we finally have it. It is a 650 raid, and a lot of people are questioning, okay, why do I want to spend my money on this? I'm saving tokens for the unicorn, which yeah, that's a very valid point. But I like the Baund, and it does have some very interesting qualities to it. But is it the best raid? Is it the worst raid? Is it worth rolling for? Well, we're going to figure it out. And yeah, before we start, this is a match in space. Unfortunately, it's not the most exciting match. This is a Space Fortress interior match where one team gets locked to the enemy side. And wow, you guys see one of the combos you can do with the Baund. Poor supports, but or poor support. But yeah, one of the team gets locked. Pretty much they get stuck at A. But the reason I chose this match is because to use for the initial thoughts, because I do have some other ones recorded on the ground, is because it helps accentuate some of the strengths that the Baund does have, which we'll get into here in a second. But we're going to start off with the specs. I already did mention this is a 650 raid. You have 2,000, holy shit, 21,000 health. You have 16 ballistic resistance. You have 28 beam and melee resistance. You have 21 range strength, 44 melee strength, 135 movement speed, 225 boost speed. You have 80 thruster gauge, 78 turning speed, which I think that technically goes up if you're in space because of AMBAC level 2, so that goes up by another 3. So that'd be like 80 something. And for slots, you have 18 close, 20 mid, and 10 long range slots. And yeah, first things first, yeah, you can definitely make this a very tanky suit. You're already starting off with 28 beam and 28 melee, so you can definitely build those up. I believe I can get to 40 on both. I do have two different builds. One where I did make a very tanky suit, but I kind of sacrificed damage, and there's one where I just went straight for just melee damage because the claw, the claw. But yeah, oh, you can do a thruster gauge build as well. I think I actually added some on this suit as well. It already has 80 thruster gauge. It doesn't help, it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit more, like 90. So if you want to, it helps you stay in the air more. And you can see you can transform in space, this does use the Beyond's flight system, which, as you guys know, for people who do play those suits in space, you can't really activate those flight systems in space. You're kind of just playing the suit. But the Baund, you can actually transform in space, and it works just like a normal suit. But we'll get into that further down the list here. But we're gonna start off with the primary weapons. You have the Baund beam rifle, which is 2,600 damage, 80% heat rate, and 400 range. And yeah, it's a very basic stun rifle. It doesn't have any ammo. It's based on heat rate, of course. And so yeah, it's 80%, so that's like 2 shots and overheat. But honestly, I haven't really overheated this beam rifle too much because the way the gameplay loop or combo loop of the Baund doesn't really let me overheat the beam rifle too much. It's usually the other weapons that I overheat in a lot, or maybe I do overheat the beam rifle, but because I use some of the other weapons the suit has, like in transformation mode, then I kind of just forget, and then it's readied up by the time I get it again. But yeah, so yeah, very basic stun, works. Next weapon is the Baund beam saber, which is 2,500 damage, and yeah, it's a beam saber, and because you are a very big suit, you will definitely reach people. And it does have a lurching downswing as well, or a sliding downswing. There we go, lurching, like creeping forward. But yeah, like a sliding downswing. It hits more to the right because it swings from the left. So be careful when you're swinging near somebody. It's more to your left. Just make sure you aim for that, and you'll get some damage off. Now for your secondary weapons, you have the arm claw, which is 3,000 damage, and sorry, I'm just The way you can do melee combo controller while transform looks so fucking goofy. But yeah, that is 3,000 damage, and yeah, that if you haven't noticed, the Baund has a big, huge claw on the right arm, and yeah, that will knock somebody over. Just you neutral swing, you bean dip them, that's what I call the neutral swing, because it looks like you're literally just scooping them fucking tits, right? Slapping that ass, knock them over on the floor. And yeah, the downswing is also another sliding downswing as well. It doesn't slide as far as other sliding downswings, so there's a few moments where I've used the downswing and I was just short of hitting it. So be careful about that. But it does do a lot of damage, as you saw earlier this match against the Hakushiki Kai. Yeah, he got a full armor Hakushiki Kai. Yeah, he got fucked by it. Next weapon is the Diffuse Mega Particle Cannon, which is 350 damage, 75% heat rate, 350 range, and you can charge it. Now, the Diffuse Mega Particle Cannon, the uncharged shot works like a auto shotgun. If you press the trigger, you'll do 2 shots. You'll typically get a stun, more than likely than not. Comparing it to the Sazabi's beam shotgun, it's it's not as bad as the Sazabi shotgun. The Sazabi's beam shotgun is fucking garbage. But this one, you're more than likely going to get the stun. If you do miss it, you can shoot another time, which will overheat the Mega Particle Cannon, but it should get you the stun at that point. If you don't get a stun, then I feel bad for you. But you can also charge up this Mega Particle Cannon, and it will do a massive shotgun blast, and you'll see me use it quite often this match to poke at the enemy to get a stun, because I believe each beam does stun, which is that's pretty crazy. So yeah, you can use that to pretty much litter an area with stuns and potentially catch somebody. Or you can use it up close, and if you do use it up close, you can get a lot of damage. There is against a General Rebawu, as if there's a raid one, but I have used it against Rebawu, did 4,500 damage, and I used it against a Pixie, this unfortunate Pixie. He took 5,000 damage just straight to the face. Now, unfortunately, it seems like this charge version doesn't have that much stun accumulation, because, well, I guess since they count as instant stuns, right? But yeah, the Pixie did not get stunned when he was charging towards me with a full blast to the face. What the fuck? A bull blast to the face. So be wary of that. Maybe it's just I missed a few shots and didn't get the stun, but yeah, it doesn't seem to want to break maneuver armor, so that's why the uncharged shot is a better version of this. Well, the best thing is, though, the charge shot on the Mega Particle, it doesn't overheat, so you can fire that and then do a normal uncharged shot afterwards to potentially get a stun that way. Follow up that massive damage with a stun just to make sure. And hey, timeout real fast. I'm gonna go over the end of the match stuff here. Mission completed. Let's see how we did with the Baund in space. Good works all around. And hey, our support did really well. Been seeing a lot of Cubile mass production doing really well recently. That's good to hear. And hey, top individual 5,000. And let's see what we got in placement. And yeah, second place, 7-2, still got 100k in damage. Yeah, pretty nice. I certainly wasn't rushing forward to get any kills, which is unfortunate because this suit can do that pretty well. But hey, I was helping out wherever I could, and I did get second place. But yeah, now to continue on to the mobile armor weapons, you have the Feet Claws, which is 3,500 damage. And if you guys didn't see from this video, you have melee combo controller when you're in mobile armor mode. You can walk up and just slap people around, and then you can combo into a downswing. The downswing is another sliding downswing, and it does a lot of damage. That's the one you saw me do near the beginning of the match, where I did the flying downswing into the to the regular claw downswing, and then straight to a beam saber. So yeah, it's a very useful tool here. And yeah, and along with that, you get the Diffuse Mega Particle Cannon Transformed, which is 500 damage per shot, 70% heat rate, and 350 range, and you can charge that as well. So with the with the why am I forgetting the name of it? It's literally right in front of me. With the regular diffused mega particle cannon, it works just the same, uncharged, except you do more damage. I don't know if the stun accumulation is more. Seems like it would be, but I believe it has. Let me double check here. Oh, it has the same range. Never mind. And if you do charge it, you will do a single beam. You won't do the massive shotgun blast. You will shoot a single beam, and that's perfect for getting a stun and then going straight ham with the melee. The best thing about that is that the reason why it's really good for going with the melee is because you can boost while charging it and firing it. So yeah, that's actually pretty good for setting up combos. But yeah, that's it for the weapons. Now we're on to the skills. You have Assault Booster level 2, Blast Stabilizer, you have Radar level 2, you have Force Injectors level 2, Melee Combo Controller level 2, a lot of 2s here. I should also mention Melee Combo Controller level 2 gives you 3 swings on the Beam Saber, but you can only swing once with the Claw. You have Flight Control level 3, which I believe lets you do less. You take less thruster gauge whenever you're boosting in the air. You have Maneuver Armor level 2, which is pretty good because the suit's pretty big. You have Enhanced Tackle level 5, which at the end of this match I forgot I had it until I just did it. I was like, oh yeah, I have a tackle. And I used it to finish somebody off. That should give you at least 2,000 damage on a support. So pretty good for finishing off low health enemies. You have Balancers, which, yeah, thank God. You have Damage Control level 1, which is pretty useful. That means you won't get stunned by normal stun accumulation. Like, let's say a Haiku Shiki, for some reason, has a beam rifle that'll stun you in 2 hits. Now it'll take 3 hits to stun you. Or potentially even more, depending on the stun accumulation, right? So, yeah, that's pretty useful, for especially at some of the suits at this cost, like the why am I forgetting it? The unicorn suit, basically the raid Shiki, the raid 0 Shiki, where it takes 2 shots to hit you, and that's a raid. So that's something that'll protect you from that. It'll protect you a little bit from such suits like the O that can shoot you out of the sky with its rapid fire beam, stuff like that. It may even take the Rebabu a little bit more to stun you because of its stun accumulation weapons. That's actually really good. You have waist cushioning level 2. I believe that's 15% on your waist. Could be a little bit higher, but oh well. You have left arm equipment buffer level 2, which I believe is also 15% on where the shield head is on your left arm. You have Ambac level 2, which gives you bonus 3 turning speed in space. You have Psycho Wave, which is basically the Psychomoo system for this suit. Actually, was it called Psychomoo? The special thing that the Zeta and the double Zeta, the suits like that get. Basically, if you're at 30% health, you will get increased mobility and melee damage. And you do get a double dodge roll. If you guys notice, I haven't said the suit gets a dodge roll. So, actually, no, I lied. The mobile armor mode gets a dodge roll. The mobile suit mode gets a double dodge roll when it's at low health. So that could be good for if you're not getting wiped the fuck out as soon as you hit 30% health, because it is 650, then you will have 2 dodge rolls to work with, and that can sometimes save your life. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then for your, I should say that your final skill is the Transform Flight Mode. Now, this is different from other flight modes. You can probably notice from this video that it's not like the Zeta suits, other Zeta suits where they transform, they continually moving forward. This suit works like the Bjarlant and the Bjarlant Custom, where you can control yourself in the air. Works pretty well for just maneuvering around. You can boost around while doing it too. Like, you can boost back and forth, right to left. You can do your own combos while you're transformed as a big giant hermit crab fucking people up with your claws. It's pretty nice for the suit. Unfortunately, you have no defensive options besides maneuver armor. So that means even a beam rifle will take you out of the sky if you're not boosting. I think this is the biggest weakness of the Baund dock, is that you really can't make use of the flight mode too much. Like, you can't come in like the Bjarlant Custom where they can fly down and just start fucking shit up, unless you're boosting, of course. Now, you can do some really good boost combos. Like I said before, you can use the the Transform Mega Particle Cannon, the charged version of that, straight into your melee, can net you some pretty good damage. So yeah, there's still some uses, right? theoretically, you can get by without having that defense on your flight mode. So that's good, I guess. I just wish it had the defenses. And finally, I forgot these two skills actually. On the mobile armor mode, you do have a dodge roll. Actually, no, I mentioned that. And you actually can ram as well, so that's interesting. You can stun somebody, ram them, and probably to confirm a stun lock, right? Or maybe they do a dodge roll. Then you can ram them, and then you can melee their ass. So, yeah, unfortunately, I should also mention the feet claws do not knock people over, so I should mention that, unless you're doing the downswing. But, and yeah, that is the Baund, and I gotta say, it's definitely a unique suit. It's honestly really fun to play. Now, I know why some people don't want to play it. It's very weird to look at, and of course, it has some downsides like the Mega Particle uncharged shot on the mobile suit mode can be a little... Actually, no, I should say the beam rifle and the Mega Particle cannon can be really weird to aim because of the weapons working on the left side. This is another downside to the suit for me. It can be a little bit... there's moments in matches where I pull up my beam rifle and the enemy is right on the reticle, and then I fire, and then it misses because I wasn't moved to the right. Would it be the right? I didn't move to the right more, or I didn't move to the left more, to where the shots would hit, right? And that can really fuck up the shotgun as well, because that can be potentially why you don't get a stun. So I kind of wish they would do something about maybe how they angle that. Pull the camera back a little bit or something, just to help with that. Of course, another downside is just having no defensive while flying, or defensive skills while flying. That can be a real bitch to people who aren't used to just boosting around constantly. You can't sit above somebody. I mean, you can if you're around teammates. It's a lot safer to do that, but you can't sit above a support and just shoot at them constantly, right? Because they can shoot you down. So that's definitely a big downside to the suit. It is a raid as well, and it's a big raid, so you'll take more damage from generals at 700, or my bad, 650. And yeah, there's a lot of hard-hitting generals if you're not building like tanky. The Rebawu is definitely a very disgusting general at the moment. You have suits that are really, really heavy in certain damage areas, like the O with melee damage. So you have to be really careful with the suit, with its size, and you have to make use of that maneuver armor, which it does have maneuver armor level 2, and does have damage control, which is really helpful. Which is actually really helpful for the mobile armor mode as well, since you can't get stunned from normal stun accumulation. But yeah, that is the Baund, and if that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want, I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section how you feel about the Baund. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And yeah, like I said, I have had a lot of fun playing this suit. I think it's a real joy to play. It's definitely a very unique feeling suit. Yeah, I think I said that right. I don't know why that sounded weird to me. A very unique feeling suit. And again, it's just fun. I'm not sure if it's going to be one of the best raids, because I have mentioned before countless times I am not a raid player. I'm not very good at doing the whole melee thing, because either I get fucked over by the game, or I'm just really unlucky. So we'll have to see where this suit stands in the coming weeks. Again, it does have some really good upsides to it, and some very significant downsides. Also forgot to mention, technically, because this has a Bjarlant kind of transformation flight, you can actually act out of transformation way faster than other suits like the other Zeta suits. Now, this is really good for comboing. I forgot to mention this earlier, but yeah, you saw earlier where I did, like I mentioned, you did the transformed claw downswing straight into the regular downswing of the claw into the beam saber, and that's not the full extent of the combos you can do with this. So there's definitely room for improvement for this suit, and I can't wait to see how people who will study this suit will do with it. There will definitely be some really crazy combos coming from this suit, or crazy situations. But I do wish it had a little bit better stun accumulation on the shotgun, maybe a bit better aiming on the left side, and because that's where it shoots. And I think you should have a defensive option. It should have the same defense that the Bjarlant and the uh, Bjarlant custom get while in the air. But yeah, that'll be it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.